The Dallas Cowboys are sending the NFL a scary message. So we're going to be going through that in today's video and 5 other stories. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. But let's get straight into the first story, because the Dallas Cowboys are sending a scary message because they have done something in week 17 that they haven't done in nearly 30 years. It wasn't smooth sailing for the Dallas Cowboys under Mike McCarthy in his first season in 2020. The table has turned for the Cowboys over the last 2 seasons, and with their win in the past Thursday night against the Tennessee Titans, the Cowboys notched their 12th win of the season, equaling their total from a season ago, which also made it the first time that they won 12 games in back-to-back seasons since 1994 to 1995. The fact that the Dallas Cowboys have done this is quite impressive when you peel back a few layers. Much like his first season in Dallas, McCarthy had to win with a lot of key guys on the shelf the last 2 years. Quarterback Dak Prescott has missed 6 games, multiple offensive linemen have missed extended periods, and the Cowboys lost cornerbacks Jordan Lewis and Anthony for the year this season. Regardless of what personnel you have, that's a tall task to ask any coach, even one with McCarthy's resume. However, the Cowboys have been one of the best on both sides of the ball since the beginning of the 2021 season, and have a great shot at leading the NFL in turnovers on defense for the second consecutive year, something that hasn't been done since the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 1970s. The Cowboys still have an outside shot of winning the NFC East and earning the top seed in the entire NFC playoff picture, although it's likely they will be locked into the number 5 seed, which will need to take on the winner of the NFC South. However, when asked what was the plan for resting starters in the season finale versus the Washington Commanders, McCarthy gave an intriguing answer. "I think I should probably answer that Monday for you," McCarthy said on Friday. Of course, none of this matters unless McCarthy can lead the Cowboys to postseason success, something that has eluded the Cowboys consistently for almost 3 decades. But he has shown that he's the guy to coach the Cowboys moving forward. So I think this is honestly going to be fantastic for the Dallas Cowboys, not only for the future, but also for this season as well. But the Dallas Cowboys has sent a scary message to the rest of the NFL that they are the ones to watch out for coming into the playoffs. Now, getting into the second story, former NFL star believes Cowboys are being held back by a certain player. The Cowboys have a strong defense and running game, but former NFL running back Eddie George believes QB Dak Prescott is the team's weakness. After Dallas's 27-13 win Thursday night over the shorthanded Tennessee, the ex-Titan star weighed in on a veteran quarterback. "As far as a quarterback play, that's the problem. Prescott's the Achilles heel," said George. Prescott was unexceptional against Tennessee, finishing 29 for 41 passing for 282 yards and 2 touchdown passes. He also had 2 interceptions and a lost fumble. What George saw Thursday night didn't leave him feeling hopeful about the Cowboys' chances of advancing deep into the playoffs. George told the 33rd team that the offense should be humming, not making a lot of mistakes, and that he saw Prescott make a lot of forced throws, and that an experienced QB should not make. For Dallas to win its first Super Bowl in 27 years, George offers a plan that makes sense. "Less is more when it comes to Dak Prescott," he said. "Have him throw the ball 25 or less, run the football, control the clock." Prescott is the face of the franchise on the field. If his performance Thursday is a sign of things to come, Dallas is better off with its QB taking a back seat in the postseason. So this was honestly interesting to see, because when it comes to who actually had this to say, because it was an ex-Tennessee Titans player, and the Tennessee Titans just got smoked by the Dallas Cowboys. So you can make that story on how you'd like to interpret it. But getting into the third story, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb looks like a leading man as playoffs loom for Cowboys. In the second half of the season, CeeDee Lamb has looked a lot like the number 1 receiver needed by the Dallas Cowboys. The third-year pro isn't afraid to admit it took time to adjust to the role after the offseason trade of Amari Cooper on a cost-cutting move. Lamb's 5th 100-yard game in 8 weeks in a 27-13 victory over the shorthanded Tennessee leaves little question where the playoffs-bound Cowboys will turn in the passing game as they try to advance deep into the postseason for the first time in 27 years. "I've seen a lot of things as far as mentally, just throughout a game, just understanding that I'm going to make a play happen. I'm going to have to make that play," Lamb said. "I know my guys are going to make the play, but when it comes to my opportunity, I have to set it up." Lamb tied his career high with 11 catches and had 100 yards against the Titans. The 2020 first-round pick is the third Dallas receiver to reach 100 receptions in a season with 102. With a career high 1,307 yards receiving, Lamb is all but certain to finish in the top 10 in the NFL. And to think that his debut as Dak Prescott's top target, Lamb had just 2 catches with 11 passes thrown his way in a 19-3 loss to Tampa Bay. It was by far the NFL's biggest discrepancy between targets and receptions in week 1. It's just been an awesome steady climb, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore said. He had made some big plays, and I think he's just become so steady and consistent the back part of the season as we build this thing. CeeDee Lamb has definitely turned this season around, especially due to the fact of his early struggles, and I do think he has done a fantastic job to be able to provide a lot for this Dallas Cowboys team, especially in the second half of the season and hopefully into the playoffs as well. Now, Lamb had Dallas' first 100-yard receiving game of the season with a career-high 150 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 9th game against Green Bay on a 31-28 loss in overtime. Starting with that performance, Lamb had averaged 7.5 catches and 94 yards with 5 touchdowns over the past 8 games. Lamb absorbs hard hits on tough catches, and his sense of the surroundings helps with yards after the catch. On the first 2 touchdowns last weekend against Philadelphia, Lamb caught a pass from Prescott in stride around the 5-yard line, but New Eagles safety Reed Blankenship was closing even though Lamb's back was turned to him. Lamb stopped, let Blankenship slide by, and trotted into the end zone. CeeDee Lamb has always had such expectations from everyone, the fans, and most of all, himself. Owner Jerry Jones said on his radio show Friday, "It's great to see that come to fruition. He's an extremely hard worker, he's highly intelligent, and he does have a unique after-catch skills." So getting into the 4th story, Micah Parsons deals with hand injury and Cowboys aren't concerned over Dak Prescott's scare. Pass rusher Micah Parsons played Thursday night's game with a club over his left hand, and Parsons wouldn't get into specifics of the type of hand injury he's dealing with. "I can tell you cause I play, so it don't matter," he said. When asked if he spoke with safety Malik Hooker, he also played with a hand wrapped like a club earlier in the season, Parsons replies, "You just hop into the dark space and get ready to play. What does it matter? I get out there and I play. It don't matter. Did it look like I was slowing me down?" Parsons recovered a fumble with his right hand, had 1 tackle, and also 2 quarterback hits. So it's fantastic to see what he's been able to achieve due to the fact to his major injury. Now, Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones told 105.3 The Fan Friday morning that quarterback Dak Prescott suffered a knee injury during the game. Jones described the knee injury as hyperextended a little bit, but also indicated it was fine. Team officials are not concerned about Prescott's health. McCarthy noted he doesn't get into specifics about players' injuries. Prescott completed 29 of 41 passes for 282 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He was sacked once, scrambled out of pocket for 3 carries, and was hit 4 times by the Titans defense on pass attempts. So obviously with a lot of injuries kind of spewing around, especially due to the fact that they are close to the playoff time, I do think these will probably be healed by the time playoffs start. However, it is probably best to rest them for the Commanders game. So will be interesting to see how that all plays out. But getting into the 5th story, Dak Prescott isn't a system QB, he's an elite, and he says to meet him at the logo. It's time for Dak Prescott to receive his flowers. While he's playing at such a high level, the reactions to Prescott's successes and failures are always a bit overboard due to the position that he is in. He's the face of one of the most famous sport franchises in the world and has largely been successful throughout his tenure as the Cowboys quarterback. His entire career has been under a microscope since he started in place of an injured Tony Romo back in 2016 as a rookie. It's just time that we as a football watching community accept the fact that about the latest great Cowboys signal caller. Dak Prescott is simply one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. Take it in. It's the truth you need to read. Medicine that needs to tarnish, and also your physical and spiritual entities. The largest excuse for Prescott's success as he was playing on his rookie deal was that he was a product of his surroundings, and his surroundings were undoubtedly great. The Cowboys' offensive line was in its prime. Ezekiel Elliott was immediately one of the best sacks in the league as a rookie, and there was a decent group of veteran skill players to throw to. There's a core that would help any quarterback, and getting to play with that group in 2016 definitely helped accelerate his development. Here's the thing though, the Cowboys' offensive cast around Prescott hasn't really gotten better over the past few years. Elliott, Tony Pollard, and CeeDee Lamb are certainly good NFL players that would help any offense, but this isn't the same amount of overwhelming talent. Former All-Pro center Travis Frederick has retired, star tackle La'el Collins is on a different team. All-Pro tackle Tyron Smith has played 3 games this year, and Dallas has struggled to find other receiving options outside of Lamb. This hasn't really been an impediment on Prescott's production, since Prescott certainly returned from a thumb injury in Week 7, and he has been a catalyst for the Cowboys' offensive success. According to Ben Baldwin of The Athletic, Prescott ranks 3rd among all quarterbacks with at least 200 plays and unexpected points per play, and is first at success rate at 56.1%. Since he was inserted back into the starting lineup, his production has been elite since he got healthy, but sure, numbers can be a bit misleading. The game tape shows a quarterback that is really dialed in right now. Prescott is accurate, has total command of the offense, and isn't afraid to go chase big plays in the passing game. Sometimes that turns into turnovers for the defense, but Prescott has had a string of bad luck with interceptions over the past few weeks. Receivers dropping passes and watching the ball fall into the hands of defenders, miscommunication on the timing and depth of routes. It hasn't always been easy for Prescott this year. Still, he's been able to make the Cowboys passing game lethal this season with a lot of moving and new pieces around him. Don't waste time saying that the Prescott stinks. If you're one of those people who said Cooper Rush was better than Dak Prescott, shame on you. Get a grip on reality. A young, great quarterback is putting together an incredible season right in front of our eyes. It's really that simple. Don't let anyone else cloud your judgment. I do completely agree with this. Dak Prescott, although he has made some mistakes here and there, I think overall he's been a fantastic quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and he's definitely one of the reasons why this team continues to win and continues to win at a line level. Now, with Dak Prescott continuing to do what he does best, I think when it comes playoff time, we will really see just how great Dak Prescott has been for this team, but also see how the rest of the Dallas Cowboys really venture up against the playoffs and against bigger teams in bigger times. So this will be an interesting playoffs, and I do think Cowboys definitely have a chance to go all the way and make it to the Super Bowl and hopefully win that as well. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.